If you are looking to pursue a career in uniform services, be it in the police department, be it in the army, navy, or any other uniform services, so what should be the combination of planets in your astrological chart that can make you shine in this particular profession? So the planet Mars is the most influential planet because Mars is a hot planet. Not for you to be successful in this department, say like being a police or army man or being in the navy. So it's very important that a hot planet like Mars needs to be in a very good position. And the Mars also needs to be connected to your second house or 10th house. So this condition of Mars is the most important thing in your chart. So let's look at the sample horoscopes of some of the people who are already working in this field. Through this, you will be able to know whether your astrology birth chart permits the same for you to do so. I'm sharing my screen if you're able to see the screen. So this is the first chart. The first chart is an example of a Scorpio ascendant. Scorpio is the ascendant which is ruled by Mars itself. So it is very important that the Mars has to be in a very good shape for this particular person. Scorpio ascendant, and you can see that Mars is placed in the 9th house of Cancer. So Cancer is a sign of debilitation for Mars. If you see, the Mars is being aspected by a waxing moon. Okay, so Mars does not have any other benefic aspect. But if you see the entire planetary system, the moon is a planet which is very closer to Mars. You see, if there is an aspect of moon on Mars, then there are good chances that Mars is really in a good shape in your chart. Also, if you look at Jupiter, Jupiter is aspecting the Saturn. Saturn is placed in the 10th house of profession. But what happens is, Saturn is the sign of Leo. So you cannot consider Saturn to be the most powerful planet in this particular chart. So Jupiter does not aspect any other planet. Only Mars is being aspected by Moon. And Mars is the 9th house. The Mars is very closer to his Digbala. We call it a directional strength. Mars or Sun gains directional strength in the 10th house. Here Mars is in the 9th house, which means that Mars is very closer to its directional strength. So Mars gets very powerful there. So this is an example of a person who has worked as a personal assistant to DIG. So he is working in a Central Reserve Police Force. Okay, he has it's a government profession. You can see the Karaka for government profession is Sun. Sun is in the 11th house, placed with an exalted Mercury. And Jupiter is also aspecting the royal sign of Leo. So when Jupiter, Venus, when these planets are very connected to sign of Leo or Sun, what happens is there are good chances that these people could be in a government job. However, in order for a person to work in a police department, it's very important to understand that Mars is in good shape. Mars has to be in a good shape. So Mars is aspected by waxing moon here. Jupiter is aspecting the sign of Leo, indicating government profession. And Sun is also not in good shape. Sun is also in a very good shape because it is sitting with an exalted Mercury. Okay. So this is the first chart. Let's move to the second chart. So if you look at the second chart, this is an example of a Leo ascendant. So the Leo sign itself is ruled by Sun. So the lord of the Leo sign, which is Sun itself, is placed in the 8th house. Okay. So, and the planet Jupiter is aspecting the Sun. So which indicates that its Sun is in good shape, which means a government profession. There are good chances of a person being in a government profession. However, if you look at the sign of Leo, it's aspected by a benefic Venus. So this person has to be in a higher grade, has to be in a government profession. So Sun and the sign of Leo, both are in good shape. Now, if you want to look at Mars to confirm that this person is working in a police department or in a uniform services, you have to see the Mars. So if you look at Mars here, Mars is in the 5th house Jupiter is aspecting the 6th house. However, Jupiter here is an exalted Jupiter. So there is one rule for exalted Jupiter. The exalted Jupiter is the most glowing. Jupiter is the yellow colored planet, the golden colored planet. The exalted Jupiter has that much of illumination in it. So Jupiter can aspect little bit of Aquarius as well as the sign of Sagittarius. So Jupiter, if you see degree wise, Jupiter aspects the Mars here. So the Mars gets powerful. Okay. Also, Jupiter, Mars is in the 5th house. So what happens is this person, the chart that I'm showing, this is an example of a person who is an army. So this is an example of a person who is in an army. Now let's go to the final chart, third chart. This third chart indicates a person who is a DSP. He is a district superintendent of police. It's a Cancer ascendant. The Cancer ascendant with moon placed in the 2nd house with Rahu. Okay. However, the moon has crossed the Purnamashya. Basically, the sun and moon, when they are opposite to each other, if their moon is placed here, it's a Purnamashya. It's a full moon. So the moon has almost crossed like 2 days past the Purnamashya. So 2 days past Purnamashya, the moon will still have a lot of illumination. So ascendant Lord moon placed in the 2nd house indicates a good strength of the moon. And now if you look at the sign of Leo, Leo has a moon, but it has a Rahu. Okay. However, Rahu should not be there in the sign of Leo. However, Jupiter aspects it again. So when Jupiter aspects, all the negative effects of Rahu gets vanished off. So the sign of Leo indicating a higher grade in the profession in whichever he works. Now, if you look at Mars, Mars is placed in the 7th house at 28 degrees Celsius. And Jupiter is placed in the sign of Aquarius, 1 degree. So if you look from the outside, if you don't look at the degrees, you might think that Mars is one house before Jupiter, and Jupiter is nowhere connected to Mars. But if you look at the degree wise, so each sign is 30 degrees Celsius. So Mars is almost in the ending phase of this Capricorn sign. And Jupiter is in the starting phase of Aquarius sign. So there is only a 3-degree difference between Jupiter and Mars. So Mars again gains the powerful. Mars is also exalted here. Mars is also exalted in the sign of Capricorn. Okay. And Mars as the 4th aspect, it aspects the 10th house. So the Mars here is also connected to 10th house, indicating profession relating to Mars. So this, as I said, is a DSP officer. He's in a very good grade and it's a very good chart as well, because the ascendant Lord moon is in the 2nd house with greater illumination, and the ascendant is also aspected by another benefic planet, which is Venus. So this is good example of a police officer. So friends, so now we have already seen that these are the 3 most examples of people who are working in as a police officer. So if you have any queries or comments, please do drop in your comments there, and I'll be very happy to answer all your queries. See, bye.